This week on The Bachelor.
Really got out of hand this week. There is a conversation that I'm hoping to have. I would hate to have any negativity or any bad feelings. Dina?
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the new episode of The Bachelor, Season 29, Episode 5. Let's get right into this. So we begin with a foreshadow of Dina and Carolina fighting. So then we begin the actual episode. The ladies and Grant are in Scotland. Love Scotland. I've been recapping The Traitors on my channel, which is also filmed there. So they're walking around, looking at all the beautiful castles and all these beautiful places. Now, I was so taken aback when I heard one of them say, "Oh, this week is very important because it's the week before hometowns." I was like, huh? Hometowns? Hometowns? That seemed crazy. So Jesse meets with Grant, they play some golf, then Jesse meets with the ladies and tells them that because hometowns are next week, when the women go on either their one-on-ones or group date, there aren't going to be roses given out until the final rose ceremony. So they get the first day card and it goes to Juliana. I'm happy for her. I like her. I think she's really nice. Juliana and Zoe are the only ones who haven't gone on one-on-ones at all. So Juliana got this one and Zoe hopes that she will be the next. So Juliana meets up with Grant. They get on a helicopter and they see all of Scotland up in the air. Then they get down on this huge castle. When they get down, a man greets them into the castle, and then when they get in there, he says that they're going to have to style themselves up. I was expecting like maybe they're going to be like prince and princess, but they tried some different outfits and they ended up with some nice formal outfits. So when they get dressed, they go into a room where there's a bunch of people ballroom dancing. So Juliana and Grant join them. There's an orchestra playing. So back with the other girls, they get the card for the group date. Zoe is so excited that she might get the one-on-one finally because she's the only one who hasn't at this point. So Dina reads the names: Serafina, Alex, Carolina, Dina, and Zoe. Meaning Latia will have the one-on-one, but I felt so bad for Zoe. She really wanted it and thought she was going to get it, but she didn't, so she cries. Carolina is still complaining, just like she was last week, about not being able to spend as much time with him. But let's get back to this one-on-one. So Grant and Juliana's date continues. Grant says that, this castle was full of beautiful paintings, but the most beautiful thing here is you. He says, "I can't lie to you, I'm very attracted to you." Juliana feels the same way, and then she begins to open up. Growing up, she had a loved one who suffered through addiction, and growing up, she felt alone a lot of the time because of that. And she actually says that that is the reason why now she's such a happy person, because she wants to be happy and not go back to the darkness she faced back in the day. Grant can really relate to this because of his father. So he tells her that how he relates and how he really appreciates her for sharing this with him. He says, "Not only am I attracted to you, but I feel so much more connected to you." He says that it's interesting that you were telling me that you have felt alone before because I actually have a tattoo. And then he shows her a tattoo that's on his arm of a wolf that he got to kind of symbolize like a lone wolf. So he feels like he really relates to her a lot. So they keep talking, and along the lines, Juliana says that she sees herself falling in love with him, and he feels very strongly about her too. It was a lovely date, don't get me wrong, but I still can't believe that it just feels like hometowns is so quick. Next week, after episode 5. So then they go outside and kiss, and there's a bunch of fireworks. Okay, so it is now a new day, and it's the group date. They go to another castle, and there's a lot of people there, and it's a very traditional type of day. Traditional music, food, dancing. They're playing some games. Musical chairs. I hate musical chairs. I really do. I hate it with a passion. Now, everybody's having such a good time, enjoying the game, just, having fun. Except one person. Carolina is getting on my nerves. She is mad. She's got an attitude. I was like, girl. So after the date activities, Grant notices Carolina being like this. So he goes and talks to her because he notices this. He says to her, like, what is going on? Carolina's crying. She says, it's so hard to be here because I can't help but to think that, maybe you have very strong connections with other people. And what about us? And he says, like, um, we had a very strong connection after our first date, but now I can't even tell if that's still the case. Hometowns are next week. We need to figure it out. And Carolina says, like, what do you want to do? Grant says, well, you tell me what you think, because sometimes it's better to let something just go than to keep it if there's nothing there. And she's crying, saying that she doesn't know. She um just wants to go home at this point. Meanwhile, the other girls that are in the group date, they're very upset because this is like the fourth, fifth time that Carolina is taking time away from them yet again. And how are you being so negative yet you keep wasting his time? So Grant is telling Carolina, I like you, I really do. After our first date, I thought we had a very strong connection. She says, exactly, you just said it. Had. Well, what about now? And Grant says, that's why I'm saying, like, let's fix it if we need to. She says, well, like, what if we go to hometowns and my parents like you so much and they fall in love with you, but you don't end up choosing me? So, Grant is just a good guy. So he says to her, listen, my name is Grant Ellis and I am invested in you and I can put things behind us. We can start over, starting right now. Let's just move forward. Carolina says, okay, and they kiss. And they agree to move forward. So she did all that for a kiss. But the worst part for the other girls is that when he's done with his conversation, it starts to rain. So that was pretty much the end of their group date. So then it is the night portion of the group date. The first person he talks to is Zoe. She tells him that he looked good in blue, but that she says that today felt very weird. And she's actually very open about it. She says, I'm the only one who hasn't had a one-on-one, and to be honest, I was kind of ready to give up when I knew it wasn't me. I was still willing to come here, but it was very sad to see that clearly one person got most of the time. But Grant reassures her and says, listen, even though you didn't get a date, all it really takes is one conversation. Like, one conversation can really change things. So don't worry about that. And that definitely made her feel a little better. And he says, next week, if hometowns happens, how would that look like for you? And she says that she doesn't have a traditional family dynamic and he doesn't either, so he understands. Serafina is talking to him too, and she tells him that she is not hesitant at all on Grant meeting her family because she knows that they're going to really like him because he's a great guy. He also talks to Alex. I feel like the last time we really ever saw Alex was her mall date, which was forever ago. And I mean, we saw a little bit of her when they were riding that mechanical bull, but other than that, I was like, where the hell did this girl go? So yeah, she kind of just fell into the background. So down with the other girls, the women are kind of throwing some shade about the day, and I think it's warranted. So Carolina addresses the other ladies, and she says that they haven't talked to her, and Serafina says, I'm not going to talk to you because I don't particularly like you. And then Dina, like, she says that she's very disheartened. She says to Carolina, I have advocated for you only for you to act like some damsel in distress. Why would you grab him yet again and spend time with him again? Carolina says, well, he pulled me. So that's when Dina starts to get mad. She says, do you not have free will? Like, I've been out here defending you. You're ungrateful. You monopolize his time. Carolina says, well, I didn't control the weather. It's not my fault it started to rain. Oh, so Carolina gets up, they follow her, and they say, are you going to pull him again? And Carolina says, Dina, would you not have taken the opportunity to have time with him had he pulled you? And Dina says, yeah, but you don't care about other people. So they're going back and forth, they're fighting, and Dina says, you're crazy. And Carolina says, I guess I'm crazy evil. And she just goes up. The only thing I can agree with Carolina with is that, yes, of course, that no woman would say no to Grant. Like, if he said to them, do you want to talk? None of them would be like, oh no, we'll talk to somebody else, not me. But it's more about her behavior. So Carolina goes up there to talk to Grant. She tells him that she didn't love that they had to have the conversation today, but that she's glad that they did have it because he got to understand her and she got to understand him. She also tells him, don't think I don't care about you. if I didn't, I would have left a long time ago. Then they talk about hometowns, and again, Carolina says that her parents would probably get very attached to him. Carolina then goes down, and all the women are so over her. It seems like she wanted to continue the conversation, but Serafina's like, no, we're done. We're not talking about it anymore. So then Dina goes to talk to Grant. She asks him, how did you feel about today? And then she tells him, I like you being so happy. Like, I'm the type of person who wants to wake up every day and choose to be happy, not somebody who wakes up and chooses to be a damsel in distress. And I think Grant could kind of tell who she was talking about, because he says, yeah, well, some people are just, they have different personalities. And Dina says, yeah, of course, I understand that you want to make people feel good, but I know you're smart, and I know that you're going to be able to clock it when someone is trying to monopolize your time and who can't ever take accountability. Damn. And that was pretty much it for this group date. So then the final date of the week, it is Latia's one-on-one. It was a pretty boring date. They just kind of visited local places, walking down the street, doing different things. Now, I'm not saying boring is bad, but you get what I mean. They walk around and they stop by some little old ladies who are selling things that they knitted. And one of them asks if there are wedding bells in the future. And Grant says, yeah, he can definitely see that. And then the ladies give them a scarf that both Latia and Grant do a knot with it. Grant tells Latia that he definitely has a strong connection with her and he really likes her. So it is then the night portion of the date. So Latia shares something. She is Mormon. Her family is a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. She's always only dated Mormons. And Grant would be the first one who isn't. Oof. Listen, you can kind of see Grant's face be like, oh, wait a minute, what? This is serious, especially because it seems like Latia is like no question ever going to convert. Like that's her thing. So that would make me a bit weary. We know that LDS hasn't been the kindest to people of color either. But what I do agree with her is that she wants Christ to be the center of her household. And Grant says that he isn't religious per se, but he definitely believes in and loves God. So that is something that is very important to him, especially when starting a family. Grant then begins to talk to her about what he wants life to look like when he has a family and kids, like having dinner as a family, because when he was a kid, he would eat by himself. And as he was saying that, a tear like shot out of his eye. That was very sad for him to say that and to see him say that to her. And he says that's why he's so close to God, because that's who he would talk to when he didn't have anyone else to talk to when he was a kid. Grant then tells her that he's definitely seeing a future with her, and I do see a lot of connection here for sure. Then they had a very emotional dance, I felt like, with a wonderful song. It was a lady that was singing there live. So that was a very good day. So without further ado, it is the next day, and it is nighttime, time for the rose ceremony. It's probably one of the most important rose ceremonies of the season so far. They don't have a cocktail party, but before Grant gets there, Carolina does grab Dina to talk to her real quick. Carolina says, I don't know how our friendship went south. I don't even know what's going to happen tonight, but I just want to let you know that I am very grateful for what you've done for me, and I want to thank you. And Dina cries. She really appreciated it. They hug it out, so it was nice that Carolina apologized. So then Grant gets there. The first rose goes to Latia. The second one goes to Juliana. The third one goes to Dina. And then the fourth one goes to Zoe. Whoa. Meaning Serafina, Alex, and Carolina are out. Carolina feels blindsided. Alex is sad, but she knows it just wasn't meant to be. And Serafina feels very sad and also feels blindsided. I feel really bad for Serafina, I'm not gonna lie to you. Carolina, I feel like it could be 50-50. I feel like he could have kept her, but he could have also not. So I wasn't super shocked. But yeah, the final four that are going to hometowns are going to be Dina, Latia, Zoe, and Juliana. So that'll be interesting. You guys, what is going on this season? Why are they doing things so fast? And why does this season feel so flat? Anybody else feel like that? Or is it just me? Let me know in the comments. But you guys, this was the episode of this week. Next week will be hometowns, so let's see what that looks like. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions were about the episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. Y'all have a great one.